Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Kramer, and today we'll be looking at Theory Time Grade 6, Lesson 8, pages 31 to 35. We'll be talking about key signatures and circle of fifths. So let's get started. The key signature is found at the beginning of a composition, and it's placed after the clef sign and before the time signature. It uses sharps and flats to tell us what key the song is going to be in. The major scale uses a pattern of whole steps and half steps, and that's what we use to determine the sharps and flats. You will never mix sharps and flats in the key signature for a major scale. The circle of fifths will be used to help us identify what key is going to have which sharps. So if a piece uses sharps, the sharps must be written in a specific order. So we need to know the order of sharps. The order of sharps starts on an F and it goes up by intervals of a fifth. Number 1, fill in the order of sharps by going up intervals of a perfect fifth. So it'll be helpful for us to use our letter wheel. Let's draw that in here on the side. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if we're starting on the F, we need to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That brings us to C. Okay, starting on C and count 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G. Go ahead and pause the video and count by 5 to add the rest of them. Okay, did you do it? Here are the answers. Make sure that you always start on the given note and you count up from there. So from G, you should have started counting on the G, and then you'll get to D. If any of these were wrong, that means that you started on the next note, not on the note that you were supposed to start on. If a piece uses flats, then flats must be written in a specific order. So the order of flats starts on a B, and this time we go down by a fifth. So this time we're going to start on a B flat, and we're going to count backwards on our letter wheel. So here we have a B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, E. So starting on E, we're going to count backwards again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A. Go ahead and see if you can count out the rest of them and pause the video. Okay, here are the answers. Did you get them all right? Here's kind of a neat fact. The order of flats is the same as the order of sharps, but just backwards. So now let's take a look at these sharps and flats in terms of the key signature. So the names of the sharp key signatures goes up by a fifth, and they are on this side of the wheel. The names of the flat keys go down by a fifth, and they are on this side of the wheel. Remember that all flat keys have a flat except for F. In the sharp keys, they are all natural except F sharp and C sharp. Notice that these 6 keys are what we call enharmonic notes. They sound exactly the same, but they're written with using different letters. And that applies to this one, and this one. If you think about C flat, that's the same as B. So that's why those are enharmonic. Number 3, complete the linear circle of fifths below and add sharps or flats to the name as needed. So this is another way to look at the circle of fifths, just in a line formation. So let's go ahead and fill this out. C has 0 sharps, 1 sharp is G, 2 sharp is D, 3 sharps are A, etc. Pause the video and see if you can figure out the rest of these on your own. Okay, here are the answers. Did you get them right? Did you remember that the sharps go on the right side and the flats go on the left side? Great job. Letter A. Write the name of the correct major key for each given key signature. So here we have sharps on this side, and we have flats on the other side. So let's be careful about that. They have an important note over here to keep in mind. When we draw a major circle of fifths, we always want to use capital letters because capital tells us major. So take the circle of fifths that we had drawn, either the circular one or the linear one, the one that's on the line on the previous page, and see if you can fill out this circle of fifths on your own. Okay, here are the answers. How did you do? Were you able to get them all? Letter B. They want us to bracket the enharmonic keys. So I'm going to draw, we can either do that by drawing a circle or a bracket like this. I think a circle is easier to see, so I'm going to circle them. Those are the keys that sound the same. Remember, enharmonic means sounding the same but spelled differently. Just like the words 2, 2, and 2. You can spell it 2, 2, 2. They all mean the same thing. They're just spelled differently. Number 5. On the staff below, use the circle of fifths to name each of the following major key signatures. After the key signature, draw the tonic note. So let's do this first part here. In this first example, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 sharps that we need. So we can write that there are 6 sharps. And now we have to go on our circle and find where the 6 sharps are. And they're right here. So the answer is that this is in the key of F sharp major. So the circle of fifths kind of gives us a quick way of figuring that out. The second one has 2 flats, and let's find that on our circle. And that is B flat. See if you can do the rest of them on your own. Okay, let's take a look at page 33. We're talking about sharp key signatures. Now the book tells you to use the last sharp to figure out what the name of the key is, but I think it's just easier to just look at the sharps and look at a circle of fifths, and that gives you the answer. So I don't want you to use that method. Instead, we're going to keep doing it the same way that we did. There are 2 sharps. D major has 2 sharps according to our circle of fifths. There's 1 sharp here, and G major is that key. So go ahead and fill out the rest of that part there. This next section talks about flat key signatures. They tell you to use this shortcut by looking at the second to last flat and using that to help you figure out the name of the key. I think it's just harder to try to remember which trick goes with which thing. So the easier way is to just look at how many flats there are and just name the key. So there's 1 flat here, that's the key of F. There are 4 flats here, that's the key of A flat. So go ahead and fill out the rest of this page using that. Okay, we're going to start on page 34 and take a look at number 11. So they want us to find the scale degrees for each of the scales and be able to label them. So a scale degree is the number of that note placement in the scale. If we think about the key of C major, the note C is the first note, and that's scale degree 1. D is the second note, scale degree 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we are looking specifically at scale degrees 1. IV means 4, and V means 5. These are called Roman numerals. We'll talk more about those later. So for this example, they want you to make a box or a triangle around these specific scale degrees. I think it's easier if we just make one big circle, so that's what I'm going to do. Then we can apply those notes to the box at the end of the line. So 1, that's a B. 4, that's an E. And 5, that's an F sharp. Fill out the rest of the box on your own. Let's take a look at number 12. Draw the treble clef. Draw each major key signature. So for the key of B major, we know it has 5 sharps, and we know the sharps are F, C, G, D, and A. To draw those sharps the proper way, we're going to need to take a look at this example here. Now this example has 6 sharps, so we're just going to draw these 5. Then it wants us to build the primary chords in root position according to the Roman numeral. So remember, this is a 1, this is a 4, and this is a 5. And we can use the example here. So we need to draw a B, an E, and an F sharp. And when we draw the F sharp, we don't need to draw the sharp in because the key signature already has the F sharp. So that already tells us that that F is sharp. We don't need to write it again. Okay, now they want a chord. So we need to make snowmen built on top of each of these notes. Okay, let's try that example for the next one in the key of A. The key signature for A has 3 sharps according to our circle of fifths, and those sharps would be F, C, and G. Let's find that example up here. We can use, we're doing treble clef, so we can use this one here and just take these 3. F, C, and G. To build the 1, 4, 5, we're going to take a look at this example here. So we will need an A, a D, and an E. Then we're going to add the triads on top, the chords on top of it. And build it like that. Go ahead and finish out the rest of them on your own. Okay, let's go on to page 35 and take a look at number 14. In these examples, we're going to name the following major key, and then we're going to circle the correct Roman numeral for that chord that's written there. Okay, so in this first example, there are no sharps and flats, so we know that's the key of C. In the key of C, this bottom note is a C, and that's the first note of the scale. So this chord, because it's already in snowman position, is a 1 chord. The next example, there are no sharps here, again the key of C. So this bottom note here is a G. So if you think about the key of C, what place is G? So start on C and let's count up. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5. So this is a 5 chord. Again here, the key of C, the bottom note is F, so count it up. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4. This next one here, we've got 1 flat, so that's the key of F major. The bottom note of this chord is a C, so count it up. This chord is a 5 chord. Go ahead and fill out the rest of this page on your own. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot.